Hey everybody, this is the Show Buddies podcast. This is Aaron Hafel, and I'm sitting here with Richie Kirkpatrick from Nashville, Tennessee, and we're gonna talk about music for a little bit. Richie, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well today. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing all right. How was PK's last night?
PK's was a blast. I saw a couple old friends and that I had forgotten had moved to the area.
Okay.
Never played there. Played it through a friend that runs Soft Junk in Nashville. He used to do shows there, and his buddy Walter runs the place, and it was cool. We had a good time at PK's.
I've never been to Carbondale. That's a college town, right?
It's a college town, river town kind of deal. Yeah. Yeah, double
That's
town.
Double party. That's,
there's a double party the homelessness solution I found out about last night there was that you got to carry a hammer. When they were talking about the weapons they use, there's a couple that sleep in the doorway of like kind of the rescue mission next door to where we played. And I came in and they were saying something really funny, but they were talking about the weapons they have to get. Like he was like, that's why my uncle carries a hammer around all the time. You know, so people are like, they might have a hammer because people are like, I guess, go and kick homeless people and shit. And
it's unfortunately, I have been hearing about that. Or just like people just fucking with people. It's like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Anyway,
yeah. PKs, yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Johnson City, raised in Tri-Cities there, Kingsport, Tennessee.
What part of Tennessee is this?
So the Tennessee is like a parallelogram, let's say, or the butt of a shotgun stock. Let's say a shotgun stock parallelogram. It's up in the top part of the triangle, touching Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And near North Carolina and everything.
Right on. So were there venues? I mean, what was or was it like a lot of church stuff, or what did you start out?
Okay, yeah. So that would be like renting the VFWs to do. Shows, National Guard Armory shows. There was a thing called Fun Fest in Kingsport that would do some kind of like 3-dog night in 1980.
Yeah, some rock and roll reunion kind of thing.
Yeah. Like 3 or 4 was my first concert, I think. But yeah, Fun Fest, an aptly named summer festival in Kingsport.
And that was probably as a kid. And then I mean, like, what was your first show that you actively you maybe like bought tickets to or wanted to attend?
Like Fish, but also Eric Clapton. Like actually, Eric Clapton. I went with my parents. We all wanted to go, and then Fish like the next year.
What was Eric Clapton? Is this like Tears in Heaven time or like
like Tears in Heaven, and then whatever that next album, and then playing in Knoxville, and it was like, let's go see Eric Clapton. I was really into the guitar, and it's like, Eric Clapton was doing a, big old worldwide PR tour for guitar or whatever. So like everybody's like, oh yeah, guitar. This guy, he does.
Was it like a full show? Was it like him doing like
Eric Clapton,
electric guitar, acoustic guitar?
Sure,
doing all of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's got to definitely. Play Tears in Heaven and all that.
All of it, and then like, did he bust out like Cream stuff or?
I don't even remember, dude. To be honest, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine you'd be like, I don't know if I do. I mean, if you didn't even know like "Sunshine of Your Love" by that point in time.
No, I did. I actually just don't remember. I want to be like he was doing the bit. I can't remember his exact bit there from mid '90s, early mid '90s.
It's a little while,
but it was heavy. He was doing a heavy thing, like.
I mean, I just imagine Eric Clapton has to do like this fucking list of songs, or it's like, or people would be like, "Oh, you fucked it up!" Like,
yeah, but then he's also like really, a dick and angry and hard and difficult, and like likes to lash out at his own success and the people around him. And probably is bored of all that and be like, you want me? I'm going to do what, he's like famously
kind of crotchety a little bit.
Like, let's just say that like I've been really, we talked about this at work actually, like, is that his guitar Blackie's probably not really that guitar's name.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's probably just, that's what he says, but it's like, yeah, right. Like, we know what it really is.
Right,
Eric.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. Eric Clapton.
But anyway, yeah, Fish is better because I'm not like Like Eric Clapton, it's kind of like,
Was that in Knoxville too? Or not Knoxville, but what was that?
In Knoxville, yeah. Because Knoxville is like an hour and a half from where I grew up. So you go, oh yeah, Knoxville.
Okay. And so, was that that would have been mid '90s? That would have been a good time for Phish, though. I mean, they're like kind of.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Like still, they were probably still partying. I mean, pretty good too. And
sure.
Was that like a college campus or was it a
No, like the Civic Coliseum, like one of the bigger venues in Knoxville.
Right on.
They would just sell tickets direct to like the second biggest or the biggest venue in town all over the place. I guess
Yeah, for sure. So like, God, what album would that have been? Like Junta or like?
You know what? The album actually got me into them was a live one.
Oh yeah,
because they sold it for cheap, and I was always so like I didn't have much money to spend, and it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna get that, and I liked it.
I never connected super hard with them, but I definitely listened to like Dude of Life and Phish and a few other records like pretty heavy, and like I mean I respected the musicianship. I could never deny that. Like that was.
It fit into the dubbed tape Walkman era. They fit in there with like comedy stuff and Ween. They fit right in there.
Yep.
Grateful Dead stuff. I mean, like all. But anyway,
Yep. Absolutely. So, what was your first band? Would have been in that time period then too, or?
I mean, the first band was kind of like a weird prog rock band with my friends, but the first band was just like, I got a 4-track at like 13 or 14 and started recording just
whatever
stuff.
you did. See, I never had a knack for
tons of stuff. Like it'd be like makeup, and what was I have a knack more is you just, because I mean, I got to the point of like, improvising around made-up chord progressions and just make stuff up. So just make stuff up, record it, and just add stuff to it until it becomes a thing. Or sometimes it didn't become a thing. You just
Did you pick up the guitar pretty young then, or?
Yeah, like 10.
That's right on.
That's kind of young.
Yeah, well then, 4 years later, I mean, you probably have like pretty good chops, or like.
Yeah, like I could play. Well, I could, but I mean, it's funny. Who knows? I don't know. It's subtle. Music can be subtle where you're like, was I better in the past, or does that even make sense?
Right. I know.
Who am I now that I'm different? Was my music better before I was different?
Have I unlearned some things?
Yeah.
So the prog band, what was that?
Copeland Automatic is what the name of the band was in high school. A really interesting band, and I've got the courage. I didn't have the courage to go back and listen to it, but I haven't gone back and listened to it in years, but I'm finally going through some old footage and some stuff that I've just refused to look at.
Yeah.
And included is a couple of VHSs of Copeland Automatic.
Holy shit.
But the album is really good. Like, we recorded it on an 8-track cassette in my basement and sold it on CDRs at high school.
So you did release it?
Yeah, totally. And it's like totally good and totally just weird, isolated, weirdo kid prog rock. Like, we just met up in some kind of Venn diagram of.
Like, you're weird like this. You're weird like this.
Right, and it's like weirdly like Metallica was some stuff that we all agreed that we liked. Yeah. We all liked Metallica.
Have a little heavy, little chug.
But like, but I don't know. Kind of a weird band for sure.
Right on. Did you take that band over to Nashville or?
No, not at all.
Okay.
And then I guess the next band, I had a band called Carl Winslow that did play some shows in Nashville. And Kesha has a cat named Carl Winslow. I think Carl Winslow might have died. Also, I remember.
Family Matters.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a band called Carl Winslow.
Reginald Vell Johnson.
Yeah, in Murfreesboro before Ghostfinger.
That's right. So I remember when the first time you guys played Dubuque, you and Matt, killer show.
Who I think everybody just calls him Mr. Jimmy, and if you're like now at this point.
Yeah, I know.
I've given it up. Like, I even in the phone, he's just Mr. Jimmy. Like, and whatever there's another new number he texted me from the other day when I texted him. So I got to add that.
It's like Jimmy Matt.
Yeah,
Mr. Jimmy.
But I guess his grandfather's died, and he can be Mr. Jimmy now. So, the title is open.
I will refer to him as such.
Like, you know what I mean?
But when you guys crashed at my place, we were talking about Murfreesboro, and that got me thinking. Like there were those couple of guys from this band Detachment Kit who had played Dubuque years before, Ian and Charlie, that were from Murfreesboro.
What about Detachment Kit?
Yeah, they ended up in Chicago, and they played Dubuque a few times.
Wait, Nick Davis. Wait, am I crazy? Okay, a friend. Is that the band? Okay, this is weird, but I think that if I'm not wrong, a guy that at another time you might not even know that played in that band. I just fixed a guitar of his and gave it back to him the other day.
Oh, whoa.
He saved a hard drive that had 2 songs on this album on it, like 3 years after I gave him the hard drive, out of nowhere, and I just still happened to have been able to use it right then. And then I took a guitar for about 8 months and just got it back to him. A guy that played in that band, but I didn't know that band. It's from Murfreesboro.
2 of the guys were. I mean, they ended, like I said, they ended up in Chicago and formed the band. But we talked about that. We talked a little bit about Sharon Van Etten. Like you guys had kind of known.
Yeah.
Like she was like the bartender at
the Red Rose in Murfreesboro. Yeah. And then the guy, who she wrote all those songs about, who was like the bad guy selling drugs to the kids. He just played a show at the karaoke bar in my neighborhood months ago, and I went and saw it, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's Tyler!" You know, this is great. I haven't seen him. It was actually great to see him because he looked the same, but just 15 years later.
Yeah, it is. Holy shit, it is 15 years
or
later.
whatever.
Yeah, something like
you know
that.
what I mean? Well, sorry, but yeah, like for literally, well, in this case, the scenario I'm talking about was more like 20 years ago.
So that's. Did you go to school in Murfreesboro?
Yeah, I went to college in Murfreesboro, and then, you know, by like 2005, Ghostfinger was we were all like, it was surprisingly popular. Like I don't know how we kind of did that.
So I was going to ask, like, how did Ghostfinger kind of get going? Was Van always part or?
Like Ghostfinger started with like 2 DJs and me and Mr. Jimmy, like with DJ with a sampler and a DJ with dude, for real, like
Holy
with records, Burke and Rob, and Burke was the turntable DJ, and he actually, I mean, like there's a couple parts that he does on the first Ghostfinger album.
These Colors Run, right?
Yeah. So before that, and then Matt kind of started hanging out in Nashville and it was like, we got to get this guy Van to play. I just saw Van the other day at a funeral for Mark Holder, Black Diamond Heavies.
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Mark Holder, pork chop.
Man, he was a good guy
for sure. He's from he was from the town I'm from. He worked at the record store Cats in Kingsport that I'd hang out at when I was a kid. Like whatever my parents are doing, like errands, and drop me off, and I'd hang out there for 20 minutes or 2 hours.
And you guys got to hang out, like chat, like sometimes?
I would talk to him. He was like one of the guys that worked at the record store that I talked to. And he always played the harmonica, okay? Yep. He was like, I mean, and you could like resist he's a big guy with the harmonica, but at the time Blues Traveler was the thing, so come on. So he wanted to avoid those, and was the guitar thing, which I didn't know. Matt's like, Mr. Jimmy, you know, like, he's like, oh yeah, he's in this band with that guy, and he's like, no, that guy plays guitar instead of harmonica now. I'm like, what?
Yep. And that was cool. Black Diamond Heavies, right? Yeah. Oh man, that would have been fucking a cool time. Can only imagine Mark being the record store clerk and like the music that he would probably turn people on to.
Kingsport? Yeah.
Oh man, because you need those people. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, just to those weirdos that kind of point you in certain directions or. Man, that's interesting because I was wondering how you met Mr. Jimmy. How did you meet Mr. Jimmy?
He was like the first guy I met in the dorm. I mean, I was moved this like rack of an 8-track cassette recording gear into there, and he had a guitar, I had a guitar. We were both playing the guitar loud and had soul patches. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I mean, it's the times.
For sure. Dude, I can't believe I would do I guess because it just grew on my face, and I was like,
leaving it.
Check this out. Yeah.
Well, it gives you something to kind of like, you know, mess with a little bit.
Yeah.
So then, so you guys get going, you meet up with Van, and then These Colors Run, that comes out in, you say 05?
05, yeah.
Okay. What record? Did you guys put that out yourself?
A record label called Set International, which is this guy Eric Williams and this guy Dave Stein. I think Dave Stein is like in the top tier of Amazon corporate.
Oh, wow!
I think he's like on the private jet or like the B private jet.
Did he go up into space?
No, I don't think he went. I doubted it. But anyway, I haven't talked to him in a long time. But that, from what I understand, it's like, oh yeah, remember how he like worked at Dell and then started working at Amazon? It's like he's one of the guys that's on the plane with that like space boss guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean, we're kind of ignoring just the fact that it's like, what is going on with
everything,
the government of America? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like the New Dealing. It's like it's like the New Deal. It's like you think you made a deal, like anyway.
Yeah, they're making a deal, all right.
Yeah, we're gonna like reap something or another.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't even know.
It's not thrilled.
Bleak.
Yeah.
It's bleak and I'm uninformed.
Yeah, I mean, it's both. It's like I wish I could talk about it more intelligently, but I mean, on the surface, to me, things don't look great.
On the the big thing with the immediate reveal the other day is very dire. Like I would say it's like totally dire.
Yeah. But yet we're still supposed to go to work and make
like
music.
You gotta
and play
keep going. I mean,
and...
you got to keep going. So you do like kind of just pretend and nothing. We're in a place now where nobody talking about anything does anything because everybody's like, I've gone on my own information searching journey, and it's revealed information to me that
I believe. I love it. It was made for me. Yeah, I totally feel that. I refuse to argue with motherfuckers online. Like I won't do it.
Yeah, me either, man.
So like, if you want to talk to me about my feelings, we can talk all day, but I am not arguing with motherfuckers online. Like that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm glad we talked about that.
I mean, just let's mention something. There is there is an insane situation that I've often worried about. Like, what was it like to live in Germany in 1936?
Yeah.
1933, 1936. Yeah. So anyway, that's a place that's outside of us right now. We're kind of like, don't make a big stink about it because everybody's freaked out too.
Or I think everybody's wondering.
Or not.
I mean, I think a lot of people do the ostrich thing, and I don't know how you do that exactly, but I mean, I do feel that there's a lot of people, even within like the music community, who are just like, I'm not going to fucking vote. They don't give a fuck. It's the same thing either way. Like, it's like, yes, but no. It is not the same thing either way. We were being shown that it's not the same thing either way. Or we're just being like, the fucking is just real transparent at this point. Like the fucking of us is just, maybe that was happening the whole time and not, but I don't think so. I think this is a whole new level.
No idea what the results of all this wild seeming action is going to be to like the reality that we all, share day to day. Like I have no idea. Yeah. On the surface, it seems like it's going to result in some possibly catastrophically bad changes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to take time when you just pull the beating heart out of some giant machine that's running to make it fail. It's like going to take a second for it to.
Yeah, it's it's not good. There's no like nice way to talk about it. It's like whatever's going to happen is probably not going to be great.
And like, whatever kind of I think might be happening, I'm probably not going to quite talk about it intelligently enough.
Right. But I know you can talk to me intelligently about what was your experience on Letterman? How was that?
Okay, that is actually relevant as fuck. So, Jessica Lee Mayfield was kind of a last-minute guest. It was definitely her publicist scored that one. Like, it wasn't a preordained that Jessica Lee Mayfield with, Dan Auerbach's production is going to guarantee some kind of late-night stuff, but she got in, and when they do a kind of whatever day, I want to say it's a Monday, let's call it a Monday, maybe it was a Thursday, whatever day I taped it, they did 2 shows that day. Mm-hmm. And the show they're taping first, it's the not rerun tape show, is Adele and Donald Rumsfeld are the
Oh wow.
Right, and so we're staged, we've already sound checked, we're kind of hanging out. We're waiting for our bit after that they're taping, so we do that, and so I got to go get some water. I'm dressed up, where I'm kind of staying out of the way of that first show they're taping, and I walk into the green room right next to the wing of the entertainment stage, and it's just Donald Rumsfeld in there, standing. He's like, hi, eating some peanuts. Hi, with the water. I grab water and I'm eating some peanuts, and I'm like, I'm standing in the same room as Donald Rumsfeld.
Hear a lot about this guy, right?
Architect of, everything from, 80s,
he's a war
class
guy. He's
action
a hawk, right?
lawsuit strategy for, patent law into
Iraq
defense
war.
contracting into, engineering the Iraq war, all that,
Yeah.
And anyway, I was like, wow. And I'm just kind of sitting there, not really saying anything. I'm just sharing the space with Donald Rumsfeld. And
did he say anything to you?
Paul Schaefer busts in the door, and he's shocked. Paul Schaefer sees Donald Rumsfeld, and he's shocked. He's like, Donald Rumsfeld. And he goes, Donald Rumsfeld. And he comes up and grabs a handful of the mixed nuts and throws the nuts at me and Donald Rumsfeld. I'm standing right next to him, and goes I need a handful of nuts. And then walks out the room. Me and Donald Rumsfeld are laughing, and then I just leave and go back to the green room and wait to play.
Yeah. You don't want to get any more nuts thrown at you. Jesus.
Yeah. By Paul Schaefer. And you just need a handful of nuts. I don't quite get it, but
So when did you start putting together Night Game?
Night Game. Okay, Night Game was recorded.
Was that supposed to be? It was Night Game or Welcome to My Dreams? Is it that?
Welcome to My Dreams was the first Richie album, and then Night Game, the next Richie album, and then in between, I've had to re-upload it as Richie Kirkpatrick because they've killed the synth sign, and it's so difficult to get it that.
Yeah,
that was actually immediately
no idea how to do it.
Hard to do, and then it was just impossible to find me. But the good news is Richie.xy. I own Richie.xyz, so that's something that's easier to remember. But whatever. I hate going by name because I didn't want to do that, and I'm but anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's Richie Kirkpatrick. You can find it.
Yep. I got it now. I can find all of them now. I'm just that cent sign was tricky for a long time.
Yeah, that was kind of that. That was an unfortunate. Certainly a unique string.
Were the songs on Welcome to My Dreams? Was any of this meant to be Ghostfinger stuff, or did you kind of you knew this was solo stuff?
For some reason, I just decided to go with that name at the last minute when I'm kind of frankly, I don't want to say wish I would have just kept the name as Ghostfinger the whole time.
Yeah.
But it probably would have been clearer to the people that like the music if I would have done that.
Yeah.
I can admit that, and there's no overarching reason I didn't do that.
Right.
Other than the name Ghostfinger kind of has no meaning other than being a silly way I was trying to talk to someone about playing guitar. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that it sounds like a sex thing.
Oh, well, yeah, a little bit, I guess. It can.
It's because that's I don't want to be like my goal is not to like. What I really want to do is get horny and talk about butt stuff. Like you don't want to hire your 50-year-old doctor to finger your butt. You know. But anyway, we're not. Yeah. But anyway, like. Yeah, it's like I think that's what it was. I got comfortable with that. So, what names are we really comfortable with? This could get into a weird conversation about identity, but for the concision of is concision appreciated?
I can do it.
Richie Kirkpatrick is now how you can actually find it.
All the stuff.
And it'll be just all the stuff.
Do you have? But Ghostfinger is still under Ghostfinger, like
right, and I exactly, and that's a thing. And there's the unreleased Ghostfinger, and there's like live stuff.
Oh shit!
And we're gonna re-release the album. I was like, it's got to be this year, but it's more like next year, I think.
The Feeler you're gonna re-release, or
the first one?
Oh wow!
Yeah. These Colors Run.
Right on.
Yeah.
Because when did the Feeler? What? That's 2009.
I think 2008.
Okay. When you recorded the Feeler, did you have like a more clear idea of what you wanted it to sound like? Because I feel like These Colors Run has like a lot of like shit going on. You know, it's like changes like.
Well, I think that there's like 3 big studio sessions that made up. There's a random one, and These Colors Run was done at 3 studios, and the Feeler was done at 1.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then same, actually, like Welcome to My Dreams was actually done, I think, at 1. Night Game at 1, you know, more or less, you know, at a time.
And the These Colors Run material was like you were saying, kind of like some of the early stuff where you had like 2 DJs and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's all. I mean, like I am the writer of all the stuff, but it's like the people around me were crucial to the music existing. So it's like,
well, you've got some fucking ringers. I mean,
yeah.
That's a pretty good band, man.
For sure, dude. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of good bands, so you work at Carter Guitars.
Yeah, I've been fixing guitars there now for like a year and a half.
What's the most starstruck you've been with a guitar or a person?
Oh, I mean, I got to play Frank Zappa's main guitar for a minute the other day. I was like, you got to, because there's some people that work at that place that I guess haven't been around fame and stuff, and they're really horny to be around that stuff, and like to be like, wow, this is right. They're really like secretive, and they're like have that like thing. So I'm like, well, I don't care about that kind of, but then I'm like, yo, I'm gonna play Frank Zappa's guitar. And that was cool.
Hell yeah.
That was the coolest thing. Was
that an SG or what was that?
Yeah, the SG.
Yeah.
There's also the Les Paul Custom was there, but it's just like a Les Paul Custom. I guess that's unusual is that the gold-plated stringed 8-gauge electric strings.
Oh.
It's unusual. 8-gauge strings.
What kind of amp did he use? Do you have any idea? Or just
I don't have any idea. I'm actually not really. Okay. I am a Zappa fan, but then I got way into Zappa and then was like, I guess I'm not really a fan. He has so much stuff, and I like some of it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it. There's a lot.
And some of it's tedious. Like,
yeah.
His way of expressing his opinions and viewpoints can be tedious if you get there during a bulk dump.
Yeah, it can be a little silly, a little childish, you know, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like great and informative, and I just, you know.
But the guitar playing, pretty
cool. Oh yeah, ripping it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally feel you there. There's like.
I set up, I guess, Billy Gibbons' first acoustic steel string guitar he ever bought, like a few weeks after I started working there.
Oh, wow.
Also, 8s. I had to find some banjo strings for it to make his acoustic set of 8s. I was like, what is the 8s going to be?
Now, what do you think that is? Why the 8s? Is that just, are they more nimble? Or are they like...
He plays really light. I want to say, I can't remember what gauge strings he plays, but it's like 7s. He plays a custom, really, really light string gauge.
Wow.
Because he plays really light.
Even like on ZZ Top stuff?
Yeah, his whole thing is like total light. The lightest. He's really small and really light touch.
Wow.
With the smallest strings. Like so small, he has to get them specially made.
I did not know that. So
that was cool. I mean, that's cool.
I also, if I'm correct, you quit drinking?
Yes, yeah, I quit drinking like 5 years ago.
How's that for you? How's that been going?
Oh, I can, yeah, it's crucial.
Yeah.
To my continued survival, I guess.
I feel you there. I'll be 3 years next week.
That's great. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when you got to do it, you got to get some help and go through it and just do it, because you're gonna die if you don't.
Yeah.
Anybody out there listening? Yeah, like,
please do.
If you need to do it. You just got to say, "Help me, I got," and that sucks. Help. And then people will help you when you mean it. You got to mean it, and then you got to take that help, because it's gonna come.
It's man. I got to a point where I was just like drinking. I wasn't even having fun. I was just doing it because it was just like it was a thing I could do, and still function.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
I hadn't like, I probably have not hit like what they consider rock bottom and all that kind of stuff. But I got to a point where I was like, this is just, I can't do this. I'm going to have a problem. Like, it's going to get like, I'm going to get pulled over, and then it's over. It's, and then because that's what I was starting to do. I was starting to fucking drink and drive. I was I had never done that. I'm 40 fucking years old. What am I doing? Like I made it through life without doing all this shit. And it's like now I'm didn't care. And I was like, I gotta pull it back.
Way to go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it is a struggle. It is a struggle. And I commend you, for figuring it out and getting the help and knowing that you need to rein that in, man. It's heavy. It sucks. We especially in our industry, it's hard to get away from.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Everybody's just like, you need a shot, right? It's like, no, not if you want to see me play correctly.
I mean, at some point it worked for me until it stopped, and I just was like dying and I had to stop, but I was so addicted to it that I couldn't stop. But like when you stop, then you start like having seizures.
Yeah. I mean, the body reacts, and it's like, no, we actually want that stuff. No.
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, oh man. So what's the plan after Silver and Gold? Do you guys have more stuff written, or?
I've got a ton of stuff written, and I'm doing an instrumental album, and I'm recording another album of stuff, and that's all I know right now.
Right on. Do you record stuff at home, or do you go to is there a studio you work with in Nashville?
I've been recording at my house. I've been building up my studio, and I've been working there like this year, and so that's where I'm going to be doing most of it.
Have you guested on anybody's records recently? Have you worked with anybody?
Man, I haven't done. I was on like Kesha's last album on this song called Drama, but I haven't. And that came out like a year and a half ago. Right, I haven't been on another
big Return album, right?
I haven't really been. I've played in a couple bands, but not in just around town in Nashville.
So is she just calls up and says, "I need some guitar"?
Oh yeah, totally. Like, hey, this album's like done. Just send me a guitar solo in this one song.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you're just like sitting there listening to it. I mean, how many times you got to listen to the song before you're like, I got one?
Oh, I mean, I listened to it a bunch and came up with something and recorded and like got out of the house and came back and finished it, and sent it in.
But you listened to it like a bunch of times. It wasn't just like hit play. You're like,
I spent a few hours before. I was like a few hours before I sent it in. Yeah.
And like, do you craft the solo, or is it just kind of like off the top of your head?
I played it through a few times, and then I kind of had it, and I comped something together and sent them that.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, man, I really appreciate you talking to me today, and I'm looking forward to the show tonight.
Yeah, we are too, man. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Thanks, Richie.
Yeah, right on, Aaron. Thank you.
Later.